Okay, we have a lot of people wanting to know where do we get most of our wood. We have been tearing down this place for about a year. This is the main house. This is on a 500-acre farm in Bishopville, South Carolina. And as you can tell, we haven't even really dented the house. I mean, we still have a good little bit in here. And as you can tell, this place is in the middle of nowhere. This over here that I am zooming into right now is where the two huge barn doors came from that have all the nail holes in them. This over here straight back is another barn. We haven't took much off of it. I am gonna walk over there now, and it will be the last barn door we have, maybe ever, because they're getting very hard to come by. This barn is absolutely amazing to look at. At one time, this was the main barn on the property, and as you can tell, it's a huge, huge property. I will walk in here, give everybody a little tour of exactly what we do. This barn has some wood left. A lot of the wood on the outside is rough though, so you can't really use it for much. And here she is, the last barn door. Gotta watch out for snakes here. Close it down. I'm just fixing to take this off. I will take a few videos of it and a picture. There it is, the last barn door. It is probably 78 inches tall, 42, 44 inches wide. It has one bolt loose over here on the edge. I will fix that before we sell it, either make a table out of it. Okay, this is the inside of the one barn. We will get all of that wood and probably build tops out of it. There's another barn in the back. That is the one barn the gentleman who gave us this stuff is keeping. Alright, there's the back of the house. There was one barn that had collapsed over time. So, I doubt we've got a few pieces of tin off of that, but that is it. As you can tell, this place is just a graveyard of the past. There's an old comb, some kind of a plow. That thing's amazing. That probably weighs a couple of thousand pounds. Here is another barn on the outside. This is the barn that a lot of the tongue and groove stuff, the gentleman who bought the tongue and groove, this is the barn it came out of. As you can tell on the inside, it is empty now. But that is where the two huge doors we got came from. Over here is a giant combine. This thing is from the 30s. The gentleman is keeping this as an amazing piece of machinery. I'm sure somebody out there would love to have this. Here is the inside of the barn. You can see the two big openings is where the two big doors came off of. Still have some flooring to take up in here. And you can see the top. Everywhere you look, you can just see memories of the past, pieces of the tractors, pieces of the combine. This barn over here, I think, was the newest barn on the property. It was like a lean-to shed type of thing, built with metal poles. We got all the tin off of it. And if you look, if you see these beams actually have some type of oil on them. What they used to do basically to treat the lumber is they used to put cotton oil on the beams, and that's why they have the black in color. But it's actually non-toxic, a little bit non-toxic, and you can still use them. I doubt we're gonna mess with any of them though. We'll tear it down because that's part of the deal, but we'll see if we use any of them. We go back around here, see the old plow. That was some kind of little outbuilding over there that was tore down. All this tin we will get. Old tin's very hard to come by because it's very hard to get up. It's very hard to get up and keep it in one piece. That's the side of the barn. All the tin actually is sold. We just have to get it up loose. Should be a fun job. The one barn we're not tearing down. This is actually in Bishopville, South Carolina. One little history lesson about Bishopville. In 1989, a man broke down on the side of the road, and he said a giant lizard man attacked him on the side of the road. Since then, if any fans of the show Monster Quest has did a few episodes on it, and they claim, several people have claimed they saw a giant lizard man that's 6 or 7 feet tall. It looks like a half man, half lizard. Which sounds preposterous, but if you walk back in those woods a couple 100 feet, it's nothing but a swamp, and if you get back there by yourself, it's a little scary. Okay, this is a good little walk here. This is actually, it's kind of sad to say, but this is actually the slave house back over here. I try to call it a few different things, but it's horrible, but this was the slave house at one time. And you can, when you look at it and stuff, you can tell it was quite different than the main house. It was very simple. It was one big open room. They had no indoor plumbing or anything of that sort. And I'm fixing to show y'all something that's absolutely amazing. Okay, this is the little house. As you can tell, it's probably 500 or 1,000 feet away from the main house. We have took most of the stuff off of this house. We have a few things on it. As you can see, that is one old door right there. I will get that door, and we will get a lot more of the little house. But as you can tell, it's a very small house compared to the other houses. And yes, it still has good tin on it. As you can tell, this property just goes for miles upon miles. It's about 5 miles from the nearest house. My biggest fear out here is getting bit by a snake, because we've already seen several big ones since it started heating up. Okay, and if you look over here, you will see an outhouse. No telling how long this was. You can barely see it through the woods, but it is an old outhouse. I thought about getting that door, but I didn't think anybody would want that door, so I'll leave it right there. But there's the tour of the property. There's a few more barns that I did not get videos of because they're deep in the woods, but that's it. If you look way over yonder, and no, I don't say yonder much, but yeah. Anyway, you can see all the other houses. Well, that concludes the tour of this barn. We have been taking it down for a year. It is very slow work. We take piece by piece. It's not like something you can just go in and start banging and hammering, because if we did that, no wood would be any good, no doors would be any good, all the bricks would be broke. So it is a very time-consuming process, but it's something we love to do. And all our wood that we're building furniture out of is coming from here. All our tables, all the old doors we have for sale has came from here. The old doors, basically what we do if we don't sell them, we build tables out of them, but we have so many of them now that we're just selling them. Well, that concludes the tour. Now everybody can see exactly what we have been doing for a year and where all the wood's coming from. And as you can tell, this property just goes on and on and on.